The FBI and the CIA are all trying to prove that they are the best at catching criminals. The president decides to give them a test. He releases a rabbit into a forest, and each of them has to catch it. The CIA goes in. They send many agents to the forest. They question all plants and mineral witnesses. After 3 months, they conclude that rabbits do not exist. The FBI goes in. After 2 weeks, with no leads, they burn the forest, killing everything in it, including the rabbit, and they make no apologies. The rabbit hand is coming. The LAPD goes in. They come out 2 hours later with a badly bitten bear. The bear is yelling, "Okay, okay, I'm a rabbit, I'm a rabbit." Thank you.
Michael wanted to buy some new clothes, so he went to a shop. He looked around in the shop and decided to pick a pair of trousers first. He asked the shopkeeper to get him a pair of trousers and put them on. But then he took them off and gave them back to the shopkeeper and said, "No, give me a coat instead of this." The man gave him a coat and said, "This one costs the same as the trousers." Michael took the coat and walked out in the shop with it. The shopkeeper ran after him and said, "Sir, wait, you haven't paid for that coat yet." "But I gave you the trousers for the coat," said Michael. "They cost the same as the coats, didn't they?" "Yes," said the shopkeeper, "but you didn't pay for the trousers either." "Of course I didn't," answered Michael. "I did not take them. I am not stupid. Nobody gives things back and then pays for them."
Alice was very worried about her son, John. He was often unhappy. One morning, she walked into his room, turned on the light, and said, "It's time to get up, John. You can't stay in bed all day." John did not want to get up. "Don't go back to sleep," Alice said, "or you'll be late again." 15 minutes later, John came into the kitchen and sat down at the table. "Eat your breakfast quickly," Alice said. "It's almost 8:30. "There's no hurry," John told his mother. "I'm not going to school today." "Why not?" his mother asked. "Is it a holiday?" John shook his head. "No, it's not a holiday." Alice sat down next to her son and took his hand. "John," she said, "tell me what's wrong. Why do you hate school so much?" John answered, "The teachers bully me and the students don't like me." "John," his mother said, "I'm sorry about that, but you can't stay at home." "Why not?" his mother asked. "Why not?" he asked. "There are 2 very good reasons you must go to school," his mother said. "First, you are 35 years old. Second, you are the school principal." Thank you.
Two parrots built a nest in a banyan tree. They lived with their 2 young ones, which they took good care of. The mother and the father parrot went out to gather food in the morning and came back home by evening. One day, when their parents were away, the young parrots were taken by a cruel hunter. One of the birds managed to escape and flew away from the hunter. He ended up at the Hermitage and grew up listening to kind words and compassion. The hunter put the other parrot in a cage, and soon it learned a few words and phrases.
The hunter and his family were crude and didn't care much about kind words. One day, a passerby was resting outside the hunter's hut. Sensing someone outside, the parrot said, "Fool, why are you here? Fool, leave! I'll cut your throat." Scared, the traveler went away, and on his journey, he reached the cage where the other parrot was. The parrot at the cage spoke. "Welcome, traveler. You're free to stay here as long as you want." Surprised, the traveler told the parrot that he saw a similar parrot elsewhere and it was very cruel. "How is that you are so kind?" The parrot replied, "That must be my brother. I live with the sages. My brother lives with hunter. I learn the sages' language, and my brother learns the hunter's language. The company we keep decides who we will be. Thank you."
Everyone lives in a community. People in communities need to be a good citizen. A citizen is a member of a community, state, or country. There are many ways to be a good citizen. A good citizen respects others. Treat others as you would like to be treated. A good citizen follows laws. We have laws that we must all follow. Laws keep a community clean and safe. Another way to be a good citizen is to help others. Try to be a good neighbor. Good neighbors help each other and care for one another. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, build yourself and enlighten party into the particular words of phobias. Today we are going to explore the humorous side of this irrational fear that can make our heart race and knees shake. Now let's start with the most common phobias out there. Arachnophobia, the fear of spiders. I mean, wouldn't be afraid of those eight-legged creatures, the beady little eyes and spingy legs. But there's the funny part. Have you ever seen someone with arachnophobia try to take on tiny harmless spider? It's like watching a full-blown action movie, complete with jumps, screams, and ninja-like moves. Suddenly lack agility of Olympic gymnasts on an attempt to escape from the itsy-bitsy spiders. But phobias can get even more particular. Take nomophobia, for example, the fear of being without your mobile phone. In this digital age, this fear might sound all too relatable. We've become so attached to our phone that the mere thought was separated from cold sweat and a wave of panic. It's as if we miss out the world's greatest party, which is notification of presenting a VIP invitation. So the next time if you see someone clutching a phone like a lifeline, remember it's not just an addiction, it's a full-blown phobia. Lastly, let's not forget about hippopotamus phobia. The fear of long words. Yes, you heard that right. The fear of long words is named after a long word. The irony is just too good to ignore. Imagine trying to explain with the fear itself. Oh, you have hippopotamus phobia. Sorry, what was that? Can you repeat it like 100 times? It's like the cordial that makes by the guns of irony. Thank you, and may your life be phobia free.
Gold is still big business in Dubai, and this isn't shy about his love affair. Planting sports cars in gold and installing vending machines, dispensing small blocks of the precious metal. In a destination where symbols of wealth have become passe, perhaps there is no special there is a market for literally consuming gold. One hotel has embellished with almost
2,000 square meters of 24-karat gold leaf. Some of it has found its way behind the bar too, blended in coffees or cocktails. However, splashing gold everywhere isn't necessarily tasteful. In fact, so ingested, the gold has no taste at all. So why serve it, and why are glasses slapping it on? Well, gold is synonymous with luxury. The hotel uses nearly 700 grams of gold each year for its food and beverage offerings. Typically, consuming gold takes the form of gold leaf, flakes, or dust, as opposed to the soil gold used in jewelry. It is biologically inert and therefore safe to consume, albeit tasteless. As the hotel staff said, diamonds are a bit hard to chew, so gold just makes sense. Gold-infused items on the menu included white chocolate mixed with gold, gold dust to put on top of the food or cocktails, gold sugar cubes for tea, and a pearl gold spray. Whether you believe consuming gold is a part of a rich historical tradition or just a publicity stunt, but you cannot deny a 24-karat gold diet while living with an expensive taste in your mouth. Thank you.
There was a brave king who loved hunting. He had 12 loyal huntsmen who were strong and kind. One day, the king's daughter wanted to marry a prince, but the king didn't like a prince and said no. The princess was sad. The huntsmen felt sorry for the princess and wanted to help. They decided to disguise themselves as princesses and join her father's court. They cut their heads, wore pretty dresses, and even learned to walk like princesses. When the king saw the princesses, he agreed to let them stay. The huntsman was careful not to reveal their secrets. But one day, the princesses fell into a soup bowl. The king noticed that one of the princesses had hairy hands. The huntsman confessed, and the king was surprised but impressed by their loyalty. He agreed to let the princess marry her prince. Thank you.
Animals live in many places, in water, grass, and trees. Some hop, some jump, some climb, while others run with ease. Animals can swing in legs or fly high in the sky. Smaller ones crawl in the rock for a shady place to lie. Birds dive deep to look for food in an ocean or sea. Bees buzz among the flowers, gathering nectar heaven. If I could be an animal, perhaps a deer or bear, I would do wild in the wood and run from here to there. Thank you.
Many people have to work on the weekend. Some people do not mind. Other people think it's terrible. One man thinks that working on the weekend could be dangerous. His friend calls. Mr. Cole worked in an office in Brno, England. One Saturday, he went to the office to do some work. When he got in the elevator to go home, they stopped in force. Mr. Cole could not get out of the elevator. He has been in the elevator. He was trapped. He did not have a cell phone, so he started to shout. However, no one heard him. Then he knew that Monday was a holiday, so no one was going to come to work until Tuesday. There was nothing for Mr. Cole to do. He had to wait until one of his coworkers came to work and tell him. With nothing to eat or drink, Mr. Cole ended up sleeping for most of the time. Early on Tuesday morning, the first trainer of the company came to work and found the elevator was not working. Then someone finally opened the elevator. Mr. Cole came up cold, weak, and tired.
It had been an elevator for 62 hours. Thank you.